Hi, I'm Evelyn. This is Ideas in Practice with Evelyn. Reaching episode 5, also feeling meaningful in a different way. When I started this project, I wasn't thinking about how many episodes there would be. I was simply recording observations as they emerged. What has been most surprising is how each reflection continues to open new questions and new ways of understanding awareness, thinking, and experience. Thank you for continuing to listen, observe, and explore this inquiry with me. And this inquiry continued, and other questions started to emerge. In the last episode, I talked about how awareness doesn't always lead to control. There are moments where we can see what is happening, but still can't change it. But as I continued this process, something else started to happen. It wasn't just about control anymore. It was about something more basic. There were moments where I couldn't tell what stage I was in. Not clear awake, not clearly dreaming, somewhere in between. There were some times where I felt like I had already woken up. I was thinking, I was aware, I was observing what was happening. But later, I realized I was still inside the experience. And those moments, it became difficult to answer a simple question. Am I thinking about the dream, or am I still inside it? What made this even more confusing was that thinking didn't stop. I was still reflecting, questioning, trying to make sense of what was happening. But I couldn't tell where the thinking was happening. Was it in a waking state, in a dream state, or somewhere in between? At that point, awareness itself started to feel less stable. Before awareness felt like something clear, I know what is happening, I can observe it, but now it felt different. I was aware, but I wasn't sure what I was aware of. This changed how I thought about awareness. We often assume that awareness giving us clarity, but in those moments, awareness did not bring clarity. It refuted uncertainty. And that is a very different experience. This doesn't only happen in dreams. There are moments in every day where we feel everything similar. We think we understand a situation. We feel like we are clear. But later, we realize we misunderstood, we assumed it, or we were not as aware as we thought. This suggests something important. Awareness is not always reliable. It can reveal, clarify, but it can also blur, confuse, or give a false sense of clarity. In Ideas in Practice, we often explore how ideas behave in real-world situations. But before ideas are even expressed, there is a more fundamental layer, how we perceive and interpret what is happening. And if awareness itself is unstable at times, then the way ideas form can also be affected. Instead of assuming, if I'm aware, I must be correct, I can begin to ask, what state I'm in right now? How certain is this awareness? Because awareness is not just about seeing. It is also about understanding the limits of what we see. There are moments where thinking feels clear. There are moments where we can't control. And there are also moments where we can't even tell what state we are in. And recognizing that is part of the understanding how thinking really works. Thank you for listening to episode 5 of Ideas in Practice with Evelyn. I look forward to continue this conversation with you. Thank you.